All right, so here we are. This is the 2020 Grand Design Imagine 2600 RB 2-year review. The deal is that Petey and I have been living in this 2600 RB full-time for 2 years. So if you don't have time to watch the whole video, I'll just say, you know, if you're considering one of these, go get the dang thing. But if you want to stick around, I'll go through what the deals of, you know, some of the things that I've nitpicked that I don't like about it. So first off, we have the storage compartment in here. All the hookups and everything. This all works really well. You can see this is not factory. This is a panel where I've actually installed my own quick release panel, because this is one of my hookups for a cell phone booster. I keep all the controls back here so it's out of the way. I don't really use it much. But if I should need to, in some of the remote camping, I have everything I need plugged into here, and my antenna goes up into the actual camper. So the storage for this unit is huge up in the front. During, you know, whenever we head out to North Dakota for a month to duck hunt every year, this compartment is completely packed. We're able to get all of our gear in here, and I just love the front storage. So absolutely no complaints there. The locks have all held up well. The magnets held up well. The exterior surface, I wash this 3 times a year. I wax it once a year. You'll see a couple little like marks here and there. That all, you know, from putting the slide out in and out, it actually, all the little marks come right off with a magic eraser. And whenever I go around and wax it, I just basically wash it, hit the marks with the magic eraser real quick, and come right back to it and hit it with some wax, and I call it good for another year. So I do that in between, you know, major moves. So let's see. Exterior wise, my one complaint, we'll just say my first complaint from the first day that I bought this camper, is this light sucks. This is supposed to be your light to be able to have, you know, to be able to see whenever you're draining all your tanks and everything. That light sucks. The LEDs in it have never worked right from the first day I got it. I should have probably taken it in, but I live in this thing. That's all the brighter it gets. It serves no, it is no good at night for anything. It's really just there to kind of look cool, and it sucks. I mean, there's no doubt about it. All my tank valves and everything, I have had this in temperatures in North Dakota down to 20 below. Nothing has ever froze up on me. I keep the heat running whenever I need to. I had one time where my actual toilet valve was kind of stuck. I put a little space heater under there for a minute, and it thawed it out enough to work great. The cleaning feature right here, the flapper in the Blackwater tank, that works excellent. The ladder is nice because I get up on it every year and check it all out so that I get up on the roof and actually like check all my seams, make sure nothing's leaking. I haven't had to seal anything up. I haven't found anything that was even close to needing sealed on this roof so far, so I've been very happy with that. I did install the backup camera. I have the system added to my truck. Love it. No complaints. The second thing, though, on the outside that I have not been happy with is right here on this awning. It came like this, where it doesn't quite, if you look clear up the side there, it doesn't quite seat like it should. So it has this little bit of gap here. Now, if you look around online, they have lots of different options as to where you can actually like get up there, remove some screws, slide the awning left to right to get that to seal up real nice, that it's not that the arm is actually bent. Well, on mine, I have tried all of those solutions, and it is better than what it was, but it's still not quite perfect. That's one of the things that I noticed immediately when I brought it home. And once again, I already know that this is, I'm nitpicking on some things, but I should have gone right back to the dealer. I didn't take a good enough look at it when I received it. I should have gone right back to the dealer and said, hey, you know, fix this right now. I did not. The awning has never given me any trouble. It's just a little gap there that kind of bothers me. The front sits perfect, so no issues there. We have the other storage door right here. Up front, the jack, my regulator. I've seen some things with guys talking about the regulators don't work, very long. They don't have like a long life expectancy. Mine has been perfect, and it has gotten a lot of use. My light up here, this actually does function. The lens is actually getting a little color, it's yellowing a little bit from being outside all the time, but this is my home. I tow it everywhere. We go all over the country in it. The front lights up here, now these LEDs, I could turn the light on and you could actually, see the LEDs lit. One of the things I have noticed, and I've seen it on other Grand Design Imagines, is this LED strip that goes up here. A lot of times at the top, it'll start to pull away. I've gotten up there, and about once a year, I go back up and reseal it on both sides with some clear adhesive, because it seems like, like that strip is just really prone to pulling off. And there's also some holes up there where the wires go in. When I received the camper the first time, the hole for those wires wasn't quite sealed right, so I went ahead and sealed that up as well. All right, so it got dark on us out there, but moving inside. What I do and don't like about the 2020 Grand Design Imagine 2600 RB. So like we said before, outside is the RB stands for rear bathroom. The rear bath in this is like one of the highlights of the camper as far as I'm concerned. It has tons of room, a lot of counter space, great storage up here in the medicine cabinets, great storage below. My only complaint in the bathroom is this floor. For some reason, the material that is in here is really prone to staining. This floor is a little gray and dingy now. I just bleached that 2 days ago. It was pure white, took one shower. I wasn't that dirty, and this is what it looks like. There's a sticker on there that actually tells you what cleaning products to use. I stuck to that sticker the first year, hoping that all of it would miraculously stay clean because I was following the directions, but it didn't. So my one complaint inside is the material that floor is made out of. I think that they could choose a different material to make it easier to keep it clean. I like my stuff to stay clean. And since I live in here full time, it's like, I have to work pretty hard to keep everything organized and picked up and clean. I like it to be nice and clean. I am a big person, so at 6'3", this bathroom, the shower, everything fits me real well. The toilet has real nice space to actually sit and use the toilet, and I love the bathroom. So no other complaints other than the material on the floor. Next complaint, inside. This door that slides here, the actual keepers on the floor, and this is just minor, the keepers on the floor, I have had to replace those because when you're driving down the road, even with it snapped shut, you hit a bumpy road, the door keepers do pop open, and they're just garbage. They're cheap plastic. I ended up replacing them with very similar plastic ones because that's all I could find at the time. But that's another minor issue I've had. The cabinets and storage, the locks that came with it, they have all worked pretty well. There's a couple that I replaced with magnetic locks because I'm not going to replace them till they go bad, but I did have a couple where the locks actually just kind of came loose and then they started to bend from being opened and closed so much. So I did go ahead and change that out with the magnetic locks. They're dirt cheap and they work really well. And, a lot of the higher dollar campers, it's all magnetic from the get-go. The stove, microwave, everything has worked very well. For some reason, since day one, the oven has been hard to get lit, but if you play with it, it does light and it actually cooks really nice. My next complaint for inside, the cabinets, and this includes the bathroom, but all of the cabinets, everything here, the paint just seems really, I don't know, it just seems very delicate, I guess I would say. Because whenever you bump it with anything, it just, like, the paint comes off. They give you a can of touch-up paint whenever you buy the camper for the interior cabinets, but I just feel like, you know, like put a better coating on the cabinets, because I can't find the touch-up paint now. I'm sure, I know it's in a box someplace, probably in a garage or a storage unit, but that's where it's at. Let's see. Next thing inside, that's a complaint. Like I said, I have really enjoyed this camper. So all of these is just me nitpicking. When I first received the camper, on this unit over here, this side of the dual recliners, this side over here, the vibration portion didn't work. I tore it apart and found that it just needed a wire repaired. It was broke from the factory. Fixed the wire. Everything has worked perfectly since. Except now, after 2 years, this one, all the wires are good. I checked it all out. The lights work, the vibration works, but the heat does not work on that chair after 2 years. That just went out about a month ago, and it has not. I haven't been able to figure it out, so I guess you would have to replace the heating unit in it. That's not a big deal to me, so I don't really bother with it, but that's a reality. This has happened to me 2 times inside. The blinds. You'll see that these little strings here, if you put them up and down a lot, they'll actually break. Then they fall over there, and the blind is pretty much garbage. These are cheap blinds. I know I just need to replace that, but that is one thing that has broken on this trailer. Additionally, this same window, when you go down the road, no matter how tight you push this lock in, it seems like if you go a couple 100 miles, that lock will end up being unlocked and the window will be open maybe an inch or two. And it's not really that big a deal, because even when it's raining, you don't get a lot of water or anything in there, but it's just, you know, it's just something small. So like I said, I know when a lot of you watch this video, you're going to be like, man, he's really nitpicking. I wish that, you know, my camper only had those issues, but these are the only issues I've had. In the bedroom, no issues. The bed that it came with was total garbage. I pulled it out. I actually cut it open to see why it was so bad. All that was in it was basically pillow fluff stuffed in a cover. It was trash. I threw it away, burned it, and this is a nice, expensive mattress that's nice and firm like I prefer. The bedroom has plenty of space for a 26-foot camper. I love all the storage. The storage is great. The USB ports so that you can run your cords for your phone and everything. And that's my booster antenna in there. Now that kit was only like a $40 kit. My daughter actually gave that to me, and I've used it a few times. A lot of the boosters, though, I feel that are on the market, that are aftermarket and not super high dollars, they don't work that great, but it is something like if you have an emergency that it's a nice option to be able to go out, set up an antenna, and see if you can possibly get a signal. As far as the rest of the camper, that's it. That's the only problems I've had living in this full-time for 2 years. This has been a great camper, and if you're in the market, I think if you're a couple that wants to travel or begin full-time RVing like I have for the last 2 years, this is a great model to consider. The quality of the build compared to other ones that are in the price range, it's really crazy, because recently I have gone out and I've looked to get one just maybe a few feet bigger. But every time I look at them and I compare them to this camper, I'm like, yeah, okay, they have a little more floor space, but the way they're built is trash. It's like I start feeling around and the cabinets feel cheaper, and the wood, you know, this has a lot of you'll notice up in the storage area, a lot of welded aluminum and everything. It works great, and it looks solid, and it's been solid. Other campers, you check the wood up there, it feels like it was made in a hobby shop. It's like little 1x1 pine, and it's just garbage. That's what their support is. So this camper does not feel that way, and it has been a great place, a great place to live, but a great camper to tow all over the country. So if you're in the market, I think the Grand Design Imagine is a good option. So check them out. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Thank you.